Hey guys, welcome to Chaos Unfiltered. I'm your host Abby, and today we're going to be talking about love languages. And you might be like, love languages, there's 5 of them, what else do you need to say, right? I'm going to talk more about like my love languages, how I like to receive love, how I show my love. Mostly in a relationship because I feel like that's where most people think of love languages. But I also want to put in a little like caveat of love languages are also for like friendships and other things too. Like it's for everything, to be honest. So, let's get right into it. So, there's 5 love languages, right? There's physical touch, there's words of affirmation, there's gift giving, there's quality time, and there is acts of service. For some reason, I always forget acts of service. I don't even know why, because I am a big acts of service person, to be honest. So, first off, I'm going to go into how I like to receive my love and go from there. I'm going to start from the top, go to the bottom, give you then mine, and then go into friendships a little bit, right? All right. So for me, my top love language is physical touch. I love physical touch with my significant other. And that's a big like thing. With my significant other, I love physical touch. If you're a friend, if you know me and you're watching this, you're probably like, physical touch, that's so weird, right? Because I'm not a hugger. I like COVID was a good thing for the 6 foot rule because stay away from me. Don't touch me if you don't need to. Like, I have friendships. Like, I've had friends I've never hugged unless I've been drunk. I've had friends I've just never hugged. And that's like normal for me, right? Like, I don't show my love in that way to my friends or family, to be honest. I show that love to my significant other, and that is it. And I love receiving love that way from my significant other. I would prefer my friends and family to not touch me as much as possible. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know. It's just not for me. When someone, like, wants to come up and give you a hug, I'm like, why? Why? Like, I don't know. Please don't. And for me, physical touch doesn't have to be, like, kissing, hugs, all of that, right? Like, I am perfectly okay with just, like, putting my legs on you. You just, like, touching me. Like, I just have to be touching you. Like, if we are chilling, hanging out on the couch, anything like that, like, my legs are probably on you. I'm probably, like, right next to you. I just want to be touching my person. I don't know. It makes me feel safe. I think that's part of it, too. I just feel like it makes me feel wanted, too. I've been in relationships before where it's like, why do you always have to be touching me? Why are you so clingy? And it's not, like, it's not trying to come from a clingy standpoint. It is, for me, it just makes me feel safe. It makes me feel comfortable. And I also think it's a little, like, red flag if your significant other's also like, why do you always have to be touching me? Why don't you want me to do, like, I don't know. That's weird to me. So as much as possible, I want to be touching my significant other. Asleep, we're good at the beginning. When we're both asleep, we can go our separate ways. But then in the middle of my, like, if I wake up in the middle of the night, like, I have to, like, make sure you're still there. Like, I don't know. It's just what I do. And it makes me feel very comfortable. It makes me feel appreciated. And that's why it's my number one. Like, there are other ones that are important. I think that's a good thing to mention is, like, I think all of them have a certain place and they all matter. It just is dependent on what matters more. Because I feel like if you don't have, maybe you don't need all of it, but I feel like it is important to have all of it at the same time. Like, all of those being a love language, especially in a relationship, like, that really shows that person loves you. And I also think if you love the person, you are able to adjust how you give love and maybe change it. So, like, maybe I'm a big acts of service individual, but my significant other loves physical touch. I'm going to change acts of service maybe to more physical touch because I care for that person. If I care for that person, I'm going to do that. Now, if you don't care for that person, you're probably not going to do that, and you're probably like, yeah, fuck them. And if that's how you feel, like, maybe just get out of the relationship. I don't know. Stop wasting people's time. Secondly, for me, for how I like to receive love would probably be words of affirmation. And that one is new for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think I was a big words of affirmation person. After my last relationship and just, like, really taking that time and thinking about, like, what do I want out of my next relationship, right? Words of affirmation is huge for me. And that's a little confusing considering my previous podcast was about trust issues, overthinking. A person that has trust issues and overthinks, you think words of affirmation wouldn't be that high just because they're just words, right? And I always say actions are louder than words. And with having so much trust issues, like, why would I even trust what's coming out of your mouth? But with trust issues, you do have to be trusting. You have to be able to let that go. Like I talked about that in my last podcast. And I guess I just didn't realize how much I appreciated and needed someone to just, like, reassure me. I obviously prefer the actions too, but sometimes you can't always show those actions, right? Because you guys are both busy. You both have your own lives to worry about. You're both at work. And life gets in the way, especially at my age. Like, I feel like life really gets in the way. Like, you're trying to grind, you're trying to do all of this. Like, there isn't always a ton of time to maybe see each other. And so words of affirmation then become really important. I think words of affirmation are really important if you're in a long distance relationship, because obviously then my number one's knocked out, right? Like, if I'm long distance, I'm not getting physical touch. Maybe every once in a blue moon when we actually see each other. But I could never do long distance, I'm going to be honest. Like, I like to see my person. Words of affirmation though, like, I just appreciate being told that I'm wanted, that I'm needed, that I'm pretty, like, stuff like that is just so important for my significant other, and I need that. The third one for how I like to receive is kind of a toss-up, I feel like. And I'm leaning more towards it being acts of service. And that's just because acts of service can be so many things. It's like, did you eat? It's like, it's not checking up on you, right? It's just like taking care of that person. And look, I'm independent as fuck. I am a big person. I'm like, I don't need no man, right? But there's also that other standpoint of, like, I don't need a man to take care of me, but I'm not going to marry one that doesn't. I don't need a man to call me pretty, but I'm not going to marry one that doesn't. Like, there's, like, a whole thing going around that I recently saw, and, like, it's just so relatable. And that's something for me. Like, I don't need a man to do anything for me, but on certain aspects, I'm not going to marry a man who doesn't, right? Like, I'm not going to marry a man who doesn't want to kind of want to take care of me. Now, I'm not asking him to actually take care of me, right? But, like, I don't know. I feel like that's maybe confusing how I'm wording that. I don't know. I also feel like acts of service can mean a ton of different things depending on the person. And acts of service and gift giving can get kind of, like, mixed, I feel like. Because it's like, oh, I'm doing an act of service by getting you this gift. But I feel like acts of service is not close to gift giving. It's everything that isn't the gifts. It's checking up on you. It's taking care of you when you're sick. It's driving you, like, that stuff, right? Like, that's the acts of service. It's those things that I feel like are important. So with that, my fourth would be quality time. I'm not, like, a big quality time person. I'm not like, we need to go do an activity, we need to do this. I am also perfectly content, just like, okay, we're on the couch, my legs are up on you, you're doing your thing, I'm reading my book or something, we're there together, I'm happy, but we don't have to be doing the same thing. We don't have to be spending, like, that quality time, because I am a person, like, work is stressful. Work is a lot. So sometimes I like to come home and just, like, decompress and not say anything, but I still want to be next to you, right? Like, maybe I'm not ready to talk yet. Maybe I just need some time. Maybe you need some time. But we're there. We're in each other's company, and I love that. I just love being in my significant other's company. So I'm not a person that needs a big quality time. Like, you could just ask me, like, hey, you want to go to the store with me? And I'm so giddy because I'm just with you, and that's all I care about. I don't need it to be something special every time. Like, yes, those special things are important. Yes, dates are important. But I don't need that constantly. And I feel like, and sorry if this is you, but I feel like if you need that constantly, you're searching for something else rather than just a relationship. You want the attention, which, I mean, of course, you're going to want attention from your significant other. Like, don't get me wrong. I just also feel like you should just be happy just being with your person. So that quality time isn't as important to me. And if that's important to you, that's perfectly fine. That's you. That's your prerogative. No judgment, right? Maybe I judged a little bit. The final love language being gift giving. And this one's confusing, especially once I go into like how I show my love. Gift giving for me, I don't care about it. I guess I really don't care about the big gifts. Like, I am a girl that I want flowers. I want someone to come bring me flowers randomly. I'm also the person that, like, once I tell you I want flowers, now I feel like you're only bringing me flowers because I told you I want flowers. And, like, I know I shouldn't think of it that way, right? Because now, like, if I'm just saying, hey, I want you to give me flowers, it's kind of me communicating that. So that way my significant other can do better. But in my head, and the overthinking that I do, right, is, oh, wow, he only got me flowers because I asked for them, which is a little bit true. Don't get me wrong. But why is he making that adjustment? Probably because he cares about you. And that's what I should be looking at rather than he's only getting me flowers because I asked him to. But gifts for me, like, I'm just so independent and so weird about receiving gifts. Like, I feel awkward. I don't know. I just don't feel like you need to get me gifts. And it's also kind of hard for me to accept gifts if, like, it's not, like, I'm not reciprocating a gift, right? Like, I just feel like then I owe you a gift. And that's not how it should be by any means. I just feel that way. And it's just awkward for me because it's like, thank you, I love it so much. And I probably do. And I really appreciate you getting me a gift. I've just grown up being so independent that it's hard for me. Like, and at the same time, if I really want something, I have my own money, I'm going to go buy it. And I don't wait either. Like, I'm quick to go buy it if I really want it. But that also is dependent on what it is. Like, $900 pair of shoes, I'm going to wait on it. But I really want them. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really want them. But some of us have to be financially responsible, and I'm already a little bit financially irresponsible, so $900 pairs of shoes is pushing it. And rent's fucking expensive, guys. I can't do it right now. So that's how I like to receive my love, all of that. Now, how do I show my love to people? This differs in a relationship and friendship wise, as I think it should, right? Like, I feel like it would be weird if I showed my love to my friends and significant other and it was physical touch. I don't know. Especially that being the first one for friends. That just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So for me, my top love language of how I show people that I love them is gift giving. And that's where I said it was going to be crazy, right? Like, that is my lowest way I like to receive love, but it's also my top way of showing I love someone. And that's both for relationships and friendships. Like, I think I'm just very thoughtful with my gifts. If you tell me, hey, I really liked this, or I need more of this, I remember that. I write it down on my notes app, and I'm getting it for you. And I am bad at gift giving only because, like, I hate saving things. Like, if I got something for you, like, I almost want to give it to you right then and there. And I'm trying a lot better not to do that. And I do better with my friends. When it's a significant other, I'm just like, yes, please take it. I want to see the smile on your face, like, all of that. And it's like, one, you have your bills to pay. Stop spending so much money. But I don't know. I love gift giving. Christmas is my favorite holiday. And I think that's because of the gift giving part. I love to see my friends' smiles on their faces. I love to see my family and, like, all of that. I love to see my significant other. Like, I just love to spoil those people around me and know that I appreciate them. And I shouldn't look at it as like, oh, me spending money on you means you're important to me. Because that doesn't mean anything, right? Like, there are tons of different ways to show that you appreciate someone rather than money. But I think the thought that I put into the gift is why I value it so much, because I could get you a $400 gift, right? And you appreciate it because it's $400, but it wasn't thoughtful. I get you the small gifts, maybe big gifts, but they were thoughtful and it was something you really wanted that you just weren't willing to buy yourself. The second way I show love in a relationship, I think, would be physical touch. And I think this also stems from the fact that physical touch is high for me, so it's also a benefit for me to get and receive my top love language, right? There's not much to say about it. I want to hold your hand. I want to kiss you. I just want to be next to you. Like, I don't know. There's not much more to say about physical touch than I already did. With friendships, it's probably pretty low down there. I don't know if it's the last one. I haven't thought too much like friendship love languages other than knowing gift giving is my top, to be honest. But again, like I said earlier, like I only hug my friends if I'm drunk or I've had a really bad day and I'm really sad. Like when I went through a breakup, like I remember like needing hugs and stuff like that. I feel like the biggest friendship or like family member that like I give the most hugs to is probably my dad. And that's how it's always been. Like I just know I can call him no matter the time. I was working third shift one time and I call him and I'm like, I just really need a hug. He drove to my work and just gave me a hug. I didn't even explain why. I couldn't at the time, to be honest. But I don't know. Something about that, just like, that is the person that I would do that with for the most part. But I do hug my friends sometimes. And it really depends on the friend, too. I've had friendships in the past where we do hug more. I don't know. I am weird, though. Keep your distance from me. Please don't touch me. Also, people have germs. I'm sorry. Quality time and acts of service is probably 3 and 4. I think they can kind of be a little interchangeable for me with how I show my love. I am trying to get better with that. I would even say words of affirmation is pretty far up there. So 3, 4, and 5 are, I mean, honestly, they're all neck and neck. I think words of affirmation might be the highest now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. And I'm trying to get better with words of affirmation because how much I value them. And I can like word vomit and tell someone how much I appreciate them, but I just don't do it consistently, right? I'm just not the best with it. And I feel like I'm especially bad at like complimenting my significant other in certain situations. And like I think that just stems from the fact that like I'm like, I know like women receive compliments, stuff like that, but then like giving a guy a compliment, I don't know. But at the same time, they deserve compliments too, okay? They need to feel good about themselves. And I will say, like, right now in my life, like, I will be your biggest hype man if I'm talking to you. Like, that's just how I'm going to be. I'm going to be very genuine, very honest about my feelings. That's how I've always been, though. But sometimes I just don't express it the best in, like, words. I express it in other ways that people don't understand, right? That's the one thing with, like, words of affirmation that I think is important is that, like, if you're stating these things and you are an honest person, it's very clear what you are saying it and what you want out of it. Now, if you are a person that lies and doesn't always, speak the whole truth, maybe words of affirmation isn't the best, and maybe we should stop doing that because I am a big believer that I would rather hear the truth than you to lie to my face. I don't even care how bad the truth is. But I am trying to do better, especially like significant other standpoint of just like complimenting, telling them how I feel, telling them how much I appreciate them. And also, I think words of affirmation is good because, like, if they're telling you or they're doing something, those words of affirmation of, like, hey, I love that you did this for me. Like, I really appreciated that. That's what's important. I think that is for both sides, especially in a relationship, right? Like, hey, I really like that you did that. That tells the person, oh, I should do that more because they really appreciated that. And it's just helping that person know how to love you and how to show they love you because everyone shows and feels love differently. So when in a relationship, like you're still trying to learn how to show that for the person that they will receive it and know that that's what you're trying to do. I will say I think I'm doing a lot better with like showing my words of affirmation. I am trying to do it with my friends as well. I also think that's just really hard because I've always just been a very sarcastic and that's how I show my love to like my friends and family and shit like that. So then like turning around and be like, oh, and being nice, like, I don't know. Then, like, my friends are like, why are you being nice? But with, like, my newer friends and stuff like that, like, I'm still sarcastic. That's my personality. That's how I'm always going to be. I'm with that in a relationship too. Like, I'm a very sarcastic person. Like, I almost show my love in sarcasm. But they will look at me and be like, why are you being so nice? And it's like, I just, like, wanted to say something nice about it, right? Like, I don't know. I'm still working on the friendship side of the words of affirmation. I'm slowly building it up there. Like, I feel like if I just dove straight in, then people are really going to look at me sideways, and I don't need that. So, like, if I slowly start showing that side of me, I think that's important. And I also think the people you surround yourself with kind of morph you into how you show that. Like, I can definitely say with, like, new people entering my life, stuff like that, like, the way I'm expressing myself, the positivity I'm giving off is so much different than I probably would have said, like, 6 months ago, right? Like, and that's good. That's a good thing that I seem to be more positive. I seem to be putting more positivity out in the air because that means I'm surrounding myself with good people. And I'm a big believer in, like, you put out what you're surrounded by. And, like, if you're hanging out with a ton of hooligans, like, you're probably going to act one yourself, right? Acts of service with a relationship, like I do, like, check in on them, make sure they're good. Even just asking someone how they slept, like, it doesn't feel that deep, but it's so nice to just have someone checking on you. So in a relationship, I feel like that's important. In friendships, I feel like that's also important. Maybe not as much because someone else should be doing that, or at the same time, then it might be seemed a little weird. But if you know your friend's going through a tough time, those acts of service are important. Like, if they're going through a breakup, checking in on them is, like, that shows that you care and love that person. Quality time, I'm definitely trying to grow on my quality time. I can be a homebody sometimes, but I also love going out. I love being social. I also think it's hard for me because I just have so much going on in my life right now that, like, being social and making time for everybody has been very difficult for me recently. My schedule, even on weekends, is just so booked. On weekdays, it's even busy. Like, I used to be the person that is like, oh, it's a school night, I can't do anything. I don't even have time to, like, really not do anything most of the time. Like, I'm hanging out with friends, I'm doing nails, I'm recording a podcast, I'm going to the gym. I mean, the gym's kind of common though, but, like, I'm doing things till 9 o'clock at night. So, like, having time for me has been a little difficult recently, so I'm trying to make more time for me. But I also want to spend that quality time with my friends, family, significant others, stuff like that. Like, going to car shows with my family has been something that I've been trying to make more time with. I will say they just suck at telling me it in advance, which makes it really hard because then I already have made plans, and, like, then I feel bad for bailing on those plans, so then I don't bail on those plans, or I'm trying to fit both into it and then I'm late, and it's tough. It's really tough. There was one weekend I left my house at 8 a.m. and I didn't get back until 6 p.m. because I was just doing and doing and doing. And that's hard, guys. Like, that's something you also need to think about is how much you're giving to other people. Because if you're giving so much of yourself, you're going to get exhausted and it's going to burn you in the end. So really watch that. Right now, I'm not at that part. I hope I don't get to that part, right? Because I still do take time for me. And when I do hang out with my friends sometimes, like, sometimes we're just chilling. Sometimes we're just watching Love Island. Sometimes they just come over, we hang out for a few hours, and then they leave. Like, it's nothing, like, it's chill. It's not anything big. And I think that's really helpful too. And I mean, going to car meets with my family, like, yeah, it's a lot, especially since you're out in the sun, but it's very chill. Like, you're just talking. You're not doing a ton, to be honest. I feel like the most work you do at a car show is getting there and getting home because the travel time is a lot. Like, you're probably traveling 45 minutes. Sometimes less, but overall, that's what I feel like. So overall, I'm kind of telling you guys to think about your love languages. Think about how you receive love, how you want to receive love, and how you give love. And if you are getting into a new relationship, stuff like that, like, maybe asking them or kind of having those conversations without having those conversations, right? Like, I'm really good at, like, kind of pulling that information out of people. I think that's just, like, my degree working. But if you really care about that person and knowing how they like to receive love, I think that's just so important to help that relationship grow and get to the best potential it can be. I also think it's extremely hard if your love languages differ from your significant other, and that may just be me, right? Like, I feel like, especially with physical touch, I feel like physical touch is a big one. It's like, if your significant other has physical touch ranked at like number 5 and it's number 1 for you, that's probably not gonna work that well, right? Just because you want to touch, hold hands, all of that, and then your significant other is like, why do you have to be touching me all the time? Like, it's okay, we're just sitting on the couch. Can't we just sit on the couch and not touch? I think that would be really hard. I mean, I have been in that situation, and it is hard. Like, it didn't work out, obviously. I guess not obviously if you don't know me, but it didn't work out, okay, guys? I'm not saying that your love languages need to completely align. I just think it's helpful to they kind of align. But I also feel like, and I said this earlier, right, that if you really care about that person, you're willing to change how you show your love. And I think if you're willing to do that and make those adjustments, it can still work. Like, if their top love language isn't physical touch, but they're willing to move it up there and work through it and maybe not make it their top love language of how they want to receive, but they're okay with it, it could work out for sure. It really just depends on the person and how much they are willing to put in and how much they care about you to make those changes, to be honest. But I do think it's important to have those conversations. Think about it, even just for you. What are those love languages for you? Friendships, relationships, all of that, because they do differ. And those things are important to kind of realize, because I do think it makes you think more about yourself. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe that's a concern. Or like, okay, I can do this better, right? So that self-reflection, I feel like, is just so important in life overall. So this is just another way to self-reflect on you. It also helps you in, like, if you're looking for a new relationship, of what do I want in my next relationship. That is something that I worked really hard on, is taking time to know what I really wanted out of my next relationship before even trying to talk to a man. It took me 4 to 5 months before I was willing to talk to someone and really give them my all, because I was still trying to figure out who is Abby in a relationship and who does Abby need in a relationship to make it work. And I feel like I've gotten to a really good place. And big thing that I always say when I talk about relationships, guys, is do not settle. And that's the same for friendships too, though, at the same time. Don't settle. If they're not giving you what you need, leave. Because I promise you, someone is willing to do that for you. And I'm not meaning like leave right away. Like, maybe if you need to, talk to them if you do care about them, and maybe they're willing to make those changes, and then it works out great. But if you talk to them and the changes are not happening, get out. Stop thinking they're going to change. They're showing you they're not going to change. That was a little bit of a tangent, but it does have to do with love languages. So I do think that's important, guys. And again, thank you so much for tuning in if you did. And I really hope you listen to the next podcast. Thanks, guys.